I love two things: driving away from the sanctuary and pulling back into it. You know, I don't understand why, but when I drive away from it, it's like I never had a feeling of when I'm driving away from my home. I've never felt that way before, ever. Even as a kid, even as a kid, my home didn't feel like a home. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I've never been homesick in my life. Can you believe that?
And now you feel that way?
As soon as I leave, I like the feeling of feeling homesick. It's like, okay, this is what you're supposed to feel like. This is why, like when I went to camp and stuff, like kids would cry, like they wanted to be home. You know, I didn't want to be home. You know, it's not that I didn't want to be home.
Yeah.
It's not like that. It's not like a sad, oh, I couldn't be home. No, it's just I didn't feel it. I didn't feel that way. I know it sounds corny. I felt a sense of home at the shelter. That's where I got everything I needed, I wanted, and then now I have my home.
Yeah.
It's cool. So that's why I get that. As soon as I leave, I get that feeling, and then of course when I come back, I get to feel that feeling. It's weird.
That's interesting, man, that you're now feeling that and never felt that before.
Never in my life.
That's so weird.
Yeah. And I almost felt like there was not something wrong with me, but like a coldness to me.
Oh.
Like I hate to say this because it doesn't sound very nice, but it's true. Same with like people. Like I haven't missed many people. I think about people. I think about my family and my best friends. I think about them. But there's never been this feeling where like I really want to see you so bad I have to see you.
Yeah.
You know, when I've had crushes, I think it's love, but now that I'm older I realize it's just lust. You know, it's not love. So did I really miss this person? Or was it more an insecurity that I had that what is this person doing without me? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I think it always came down to more of an insecurity because I had this need for certainty. So I knew if maybe this person if this person wasn't with me, there's uncertainty. What is she doing? When I was with the person, there was this certainty. So I don't think I actually missed them. It was just an area of my life that I very much needed to improve to feel more secure. I just never allowed myself to get attached to anything too close besides animals. And I know there's some, you know, I'm not a psychologist and stuff, but I'm sure that there's many people are like that because we know that that's what unconditional love is, right? An animal is never going to leave us.
Yeah. An
animal is never going to try to screw us, take advantage of us. But what's really beautiful is I'm at this place in my life where I feel so not certain. I have more uncertainty now, so you would think I'd naturally be more insecure. But because of what I've learned about myself, because I'm willing to really like go deep with certain thoughts and explore the whys of why I am the way that I am, why I feel the way that I feel, instead of just acting on things, really going through the emotional roller coaster of exploring my feelings, excuse me. I've done a lot of work to kind of separate the difference between love and lust, missing someone and insecurity. I could go on and on as far as examples go. But what is beautiful, my point is, I've worked on myself so much. Of course, I still make mistakes. I still say, tomorrow I might say something I might regret. Tomorrow I might do something I wish I didn't do. So I couldn't tell you how far from not only perfect, but how far from where I want to be. It's right now, not to shift gears, you know what I'm thinking about? I'm thinking of there's an interview I saw a few years ago that made me feel so good, because something I've always wanted to work on is managing my emotional state, how to not get triggered by something that maybe wouldn't trigger somebody else. You see people who are like super laid back, which I think I am. I'm relatively really calm, but that's how I am after a lot of work. I used to just get offended easily, you know. I don't think I'd be friends with the Lee Asher that was myself 5 years ago, or 10. I was too lost. I didn't know what was up, what was down, left or right. But one thing I always wanted to really work on, because of my father, was my anger. I had rage. This rage inside of me. Rage can be a beautiful emotion if you know how to do it. But I saw it in my dad, and I don't want it. You know, he's such a good man. Most people who have a lot of rage, you know what they actually have? A lot of fear. And so I don't want to tell you that I'm scared. I don't want to show you what I'm afraid of. So instead, I'm gonna be like this to show you I'm not afraid of any of it. You know?
Yeah.
He's had 3 heart attacks. So when I was younger, I said I don't want to be like that. So I've really always worked on my anger. As I got older, it's like, man, I didn't realize when you're younger, it's not so much about improving. You want to go from good or even from bad to perfect. You have to, that's one of the things about growing up. You realize celebrate the small improvements, right? So I used to say, man, I'm not getting better. I just got angry, I would say. Like, I tell me, I just got angry. I'm not better. I just read this book and I just got angry. So a friend of mine sent me this interview of the Dalai Lama. And the Dalai Lama, the interviewer said, do you ever get angry? And the Dalai Lama says, yeah. Actually, I get this question all the time. All the time. And guess what? It makes me angry. And the interviewer said, what do you mean? He said, well, I'm angry now. I don't like the question. And I was like, look, so what did I learn? Two things. Even the Dalai Lama gets angry. Someone who I was like, I want to be like that. But what did he do is he still gets angry, but he knows how to control it. He could even make it humorous. And if you really paid attention, you could actually see the best way to tell, right? I think it's 70% of communication is nonverbal. So you could see in his body language, like, oh yeah, he did shift his energy. Sometimes, you know, what life teaches us, it's not about not being angry. It's not about not reacting. It's not about completely changing that area of your life. It's about adjusting how you view it, right?
Yeah.
Just being aware of it. Like how he said, I'm angry now. He was aware of this. He was vocal. And that's something that has helped me so much. Expressing without hesitation, expressing how I'm feeling. Like really, like right on the spot. When I feel something, if it's anger, if it's love, passion, energy, fear, insecurity, confidence, if I feel some sort of intensity of an emotion, it's important to express it. That needs to be normalized.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like just a few minutes ago, and now I'm coming back to why I'm talking about this. Let me close the windows. Just a few minutes ago, when I was looking to send a sponsor a photo, Celsius, a photo that we took. I saw that photo of you where you're like at the river, where you just looked so happy. Yeah. And that brought so much joy. And I just, you know, most people would just say, oh, that's a good photo of you. But I wanted you to know, I'm like, man, you bring so much goodness to your environment. You know, like that's such an awesome quality, man.
Oh, thanks, dude.
Bringing it back to being homesick, how I never been homesick. Like ever since I've kind of been working on myself, and now that I have the sanctuary, so now I'm finally homesick. But now what's also cool is like, you know, Eric, you, Tasha, and Justin, when I don't see you guys for a while, I miss you guys. You know, it's like, man, I look forward to Monday when you're coming. I look forward to Tuesday, which is when Eric comes. You know, Tuesday also when Tasha and Justin from family.com. It's like, it's beautiful how it's step by step. You know, I'm 32, I'm gonna be 33 soon. Cece, gonna be 33 soon. It shows you it could take 10 years, 20 years, 50 years. It happens. The outcome happens, but not when you want it.
Yeah.
When you're ready.
Yeah.
When you could differentiate the difference between love, lust, confidence, and security, all these different things. We have to pay attention to our real feelings. We have to pay attention to how we're actually feeling, because the most of our feelings, Cece, hey, it's okay, she's just walking around. Most of our feelings, it's not that's not the feeling, it's the mask of the feeling underneath it.
Yeah.
And if you're so used to putting on that mask, you don't even know. You don't even know what's real or not. You don't even know, is this really how I feel, or is this a mask? And that's why when you immediately feel something, before you mask it, say it. Doesn't matter if there's someone in the room or if there's no one in the room. Say it. And that way you are on top of it. This is how I'm feeling now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
It's important.
Now let's talk about the dogs.
All right.